India was under British colonial rule for almost 2 centuries. During this time, the British East India Company and later the British government extracted wealth from India through various means. One of the most significant ways they did this was through economic exploitation. The British implemented policies that favored their own interests over those of the Indian people. They destroyed India's textile industry, which was the backbone of the Indian economy at the time, by imposing heavy tariffs and taxes. This forced Indian weavers and artisans out of business and allowed British manufacturers to dominate the market. British also levied heavy taxes on Indian farmers, which led to widespread poverty and famine. British would then buy up the grain at low prices and export it to other countries, making huge profits in the process. The British also forcibly took control of India's resources, including its land, minerals, and forests. They extracted these resources and shipped them back to Britain, leaving India with little to no benefit. The economic exploitation of India by the British is evident in the stark contrast between India's GDP when the British arrived in 1757 and when they left in 1947. According to economic historian Angus Maddison, India's GDP was $24.4 billion in 1700, which was 24.4% of the world economy. By 1947, India's GDP had shrunk to $7.2 billion, which was only 3.8% of the world economy. It's estimated that during the colonial era, Britain looted up to $45 trillion from India. This amount is based on the calculations of economist Utsa Patnaik, who used conservative estimates of India's per capita income, population, and various economic indicators to arrive at this figure. To put this amount in perspective, $45 trillion is almost 17 times the size of the current Indian economy. The British colonial era in India was marked by economic exploitation, which resulted in the looting of trillions of dollars from India. The effects of this exploitation are still being felt today, and it's important to recognize and acknowledge the role that colonialism played in shaping India's history.